5 years ago, I was losing money every single week, wondering if this is all possible. And this video is going to be exactly what no one showed me about the reality of full-time trading, the good, the reality, and exactly how I got here. So let's get into it. So although trading has a lot of freedom, you do have to have a routine, and trading full-time was something that naturally happened. And I'm going to put full-time in brackets because I'm exactly going to explain in the end of the video exactly what it means to be a full-time trader. So it starts off normally, I trade 2 sessions since it is my full-time occupation. I allow myself to trade 2 sessions. If you're someone with a job, you're probably going to be trading 1 session. I trade the London and the New York Stock Exchange open. So my day really starts at around 10:15 a.m. Dubai time. That's the time where I have to be at the charts. But I like to have a routine where I actually include a lot of positive things that reflect on my trading. I get up quite early in the morning. I make an effort to walk, or if I'm trying to be in a fat loss phase because I care about my fitness, I then make some meals for the day. So I allow myself to get up at around 7 a.m. When daylight savings shift, I get an hour extra or an hour less. That's how my schedule works. I get up the same time every day. I run the same schedule because I like to keep things routine. I want to come to the chart with the same mindset. No matter what's happening outside the charts, problems here, business stresses, no matter what it is, if I wake up and run the same routine, my brain is programmed to come to the charts with the same outlook because I've had to run the same routine. So I might feel something else, but that same routine has made me approach the chart to something I'm very used to. And that is the secret about full-time trading, is being able to have the same approach at the charts to keep consistency, because consistency is what's going to keep you in the game. So I allow myself that in the morning, and I show up to the charts at 10:15. So at 10:15, that's when my session actually starts, and I'll allow myself around 2 hours at the chart. So I normally hop on the live stream for London session. I have over 1,000 live streams streaming London session in YouTube. You can check my stream schedule below of when I'm live on YouTube. And I normally trade with a group. I hate trading by myself. It's very boring. I love to bounce ideas, keep myself accountable. So I'm normally trading with a group, and that is what I do for my first 2 hours. And that is where I take any options that there are to be taken. And I only spend 2 hours doing this because this is the most optimal time that I found my setups coming. So I don't have to be glued to the chart. I just need to spend 2 hours, and honestly, I could get away with an hour and a half, and some days I run just an hour and a half. So that's my morning. After that, I go and I have lunch, and then I make my way towards the gym. I love to have gym part of my routine. Now this time you could do anything with that time. So normally I have a gap where I either take meetings, because this is the beauty about trading, is it doesn't consume you, it's a part of your lifestyle. So normally what I do is I allow it to mold what I can do outside of trading, meaning I can be working on other businesses, I can be working on things that I do within this industry, and then I'll hop into the car and drive myself to the gym. I'll spend actually 2 hours for that whole ordeal, because I don't like to rush. I like to go there, work out for an hour and a half, come back, shower, all of that, and by that time it's ready to kick into the NYSE session. So I run the same routine. The NYSE session, I only run for an hour a day. It's a very high volume session, and it doesn't occupy me. This is the beautiful thing about trading. People think full-time means I have 1,000 screens and I'm sitting in front of the screen the whole time. That is not true. I have 2 monitors here, and I don't stare at the screen all day. The truth is, trading gives a lot of freedom, and I fill my day with things I want to be doing. This is something a job could never give, right? I couldn't have the freedom to work and grow, build other businesses, become a better version of myself, and at the same time I wouldn't be able to do things I enjoy. So that's the freedom that trading gives that a job could never, but you do have to have your set trading times, which is my trading windows. So of course, with the upside of trading, there's also the reality. And the reality is, when I went first into full-time trading, I was not ready. The pressure of needing to make money, the pressure of needing to pay a bill is a whole different ball game. You can't be chasing bills. Even I feel as an employee, chasing bills is eventually going to lead you to failure long term, right? Because as soon as that income source stops, you're going to be stuck. So the same thing applies from trading. So that is where I realized that there's very hard periods in the market. The days that the market gives you no setup, instead of thinking there's no setup, you think I need to find a setup because I have a payment coming. The days that you take a loss, you are not affecting your account, you're affecting your income. You're affecting the profit that you made, and that changes your psychology towards the chart. The time you win, you start to get greedy because you said, if I had more, then I have extra money for this month. All of those things start to play an effect on your day-to-day results in your trading. The hardest thing is the psychological weight of knowing that your decision today is going to impact your income. When I first started, the isolation of working alone, that is quite actually depressing, because you're just in your own little bubble. And that's why I kind of graduated to have my own community where I can share my experiences, help others get profitable as well, and it also keeps me company, to be honest. There's always a reason for me to do it, which is I want to be trading with others. So the isolation sometimes can drive you insane because you're not bouncing ideas. Sometimes I struggle in my own trading journey wanting to push risk harder. It's nice to bounce ideas off people and have a discussion, right? And honestly, the hardest thing about trading full time is what if you're not making money that month? And you start to realize that trading is about cumulative income. It's not about this is how much I made this month, no. You could make 20, 30% one month, next month 5% minus 4%. That doesn't matter. And that's where I started to understand how powerful multiple sources of income and how much better than just a trader you can be by having things to back up. Because when I first started, like a lot of you, I didn't have too much money to start with. I wasn't someone who was like, okay, if this all messes up, I'm going to be fine. I'll just go back to my 9 to 5. I didn't have a 9 to 5. I didn't have a college degree. I didn't have jobs lined up for me. So for me, it had to be something that I was able to hustle. I grew by doing well in crypto, which honestly was a big leg up, was a decision I made very early on by flipping items and putting it into an investment that did give me a head start. I did have a cushion, but without that cushion, I couldn't make this possible. Now, before going into the last section about how to actually become a full-time trader, I want to talk about how long this actually takes and how long it took me. The biggest factor is before most people become full-time trading or able to trade as a good source of income, which is a very small percentage if we are being honest. And the main reason is people quit or they don't have the access. Trading is a very volatile income source. I always recommend people to have multiple sources of income, but it's a massive opportunity. My best investments have come from full-time trading because I've been able to target the market. One of my best NASDAQ positions is I bought from the uttermost lows and I've been holding over a 6-figure position now, which is insane, but I wouldn't be able to do this unless I was involved in the market and understood what I was doing. I had 2 years of just constant losses before it even something clicked. And after that, it was not easy. I would have $1,000 weeks, which was great, but I was nowhere near making a full-time income. You have to get used to living as a full-time trader on 2 to 3K before you can think of bigger sources. Now, the more money you make, the more you have opportunity to risk more, which gives you leverage in order to start to make 10K plus 15K as a trader and then eventually start to work into those 20Ks. Everything changes after 10K. You'll notice that, and I hope one day you get there too. Now I'm going to exactly break down through a few steps of exactly how to be able to trade as a main source of income. Number one is going to be proven strategy. There's no point of even considering becoming a full-time trader unless you have data on a strategy and a proven strategy. For me, all the strategy that I show online and I teach people who trade, that is coming from a proven strategy. And I even show that publicly by having over 1,000 streams and publicly trading my trades from entry to exit live. That is proven data of a proven system that I'm able to constantly adapt and make sure I keep on top of. Second thing is consistency is key. Most people quit because they go into the downside of trading and they don't know what to do and they get scared and they just quit because they over risk. Before you increase size, have consistency. People don't know how powerful it is making a couple of $100 a month. You can easily finish your first 1.5, 2K month. 2K extra on your income right now would make a difference. It did make a difference to me when I first started to have even just an extra 1K per month. If you can't do that consistently, you're not going to be able to start to aim for that 5, 6 or 7K per month. It's not going to be possible. So build consistency, then start to increase risk. Realize I would prefer if you have some side hustle going on that makes you money so that you spend time off the charts. Because if you realize in my whole day, max I'm spending at the charts is 3 hours. Use that time wisely. Using your free time to make extra income is going to alleviate the pressure from being able to have to produce results every single day. Now that pressure will allow you to make more money than you first imagined. But you need to be able to have a plan of exactly how much money you need, use your time wisely, and with that time start to scale. Now the most important is going to be having a cushion. I recommend minimum 6 to 12 months of saved income that you can live on a month-to-month basis. This is the uttermost most important part because this is going to allow you to trade without pressure. If you make a decision and decide to go all in on trading, have at least 6 to 12 months of income because then you don't have pressure for 6 months and you can figure out if it's really for you or what you need to do in order to make this, because you will find a lot about yourself when you make the decision to make trading one of your main sources of income, and that learning curve may cause losses, but if you have to pay bills at the end of the month, you're just not going to be profitable, and that's reality. So have a plan, have someone advising you who's done this before and has the experience to be able to help you to understand what you're doing right or maybe wrong. My biggest piece of advice, and this is really important, is treat trading like a business. This is not a game. This is a business. If you do not treat trading like a big enterprise does, you're going to lose in this game. From day one, treat it like a business. So if you actually want to make a change in your trading, then you have to take the steps I talked about in this video. I'd appreciate if you were to share this video and leave a like and get this out to others to show them the reality and also to give them the right steps to take. Make sure you're following one strategy. Watching YouTube videos alone is not going to get you to this. You need to be able to be in a community with people who are more experienced with you and get advice that actually is going to upgrade you as a trader. This is speaking from someone who's been where you are and built tools to be able to get to the next level. I'm speaking through experience, not opinion. It's very important to understand these steps. If you want to excel your journey, make sure you check out my strategy on YouTube. And if you want to take things further, check out the first link in the description. That's going to show you where I trade every single day live, and you can trade alongside me and learn and hopefully get you towards your goals. With that being said, take care, trade sharp, and hopefully catch you guys very, very soon. Peace.